All right, it is showing that we're live. Still got to check and make sure. Because YouTube wants to take forever to tell me I'm live. There we go. Okay. So, good morning, guys. How are you doing? I'll answer your question in a bit, Sterling, because that is something I was going to bring up anyway. So, let's redo the rankings really quick so I can get this out of the way so we can kind of talk about who I think you should be considering in your player pool or who you think you should play. I'm only playing 2 lineups today. If I was playing more, I'd probably get to everybody in my player pool. But these are the guys that are hitting value or close to value, or if you should even consider them or not, things of that nature there. That's out. Out. And Smith out. How about that ARCA race yesterday? I know you probably didn't see a lot of it because it was behind the paywall of good old NBC Sports, but man, General Tire, they kept blowing tires left and right, man. It was like watching Indianapolis all over again when they kept blowing tires there. It was so bad they had to sell tires back to they had to sell new tires to the teams. That was quite funny. Leave Hill there. We'll talk about him when we get there. F. Still Fs. Still Fs. Let's see. Cody Ware, I took Cody Ware down quite a bit in projections because I was thinking, this is a really difficult track, and I don't know if he can really be there. I'm concerned about Josh Williams really doing much. We'll talk about him when we get down there. Nemechek, Yeley, Weatherman hitting value pretty easily. So if him hitting value, I'll see F. I got Atlantic Castle not hitting value. Okay, so these are the guys that I would consider playing. I put their projected finishes here so you can kind of see what I'm expecting these guys to do. But yeah, Sterling, what you asked, playing both Daniel Hemrick and Allgaier. First and foremost, I have Hemrick and Allgaier projected to do the best out of everyone because I imagine it's going to be one of these guys who leads a good portion of the race. Hopefully it's Hemrick. I think everybody's hopping on Allgaier, so I'm believing in Hendrick. I am concerned. Hemrick. I am concerned that he loses the lead on the initial restart because we saw that yesterday in the ARCA race where the inside just could not go at all. Everybody would get the momentum on the outside and pass the leader. So that's the only concern I have there. I currently have Hemrick I have them to do pretty much the exact same. I have Hemrick projected lead 65 laps. I got Allgaier projected lead 65. And then 50 so fast laps for Hemrick and 50 so fast laps for Allgaier. So they're pretty even in terms of what I think they're going to do. I just happen to land on Allgaier more because he's cheaper and the optimizer likes him. In all the initial runs that I did, and even with this player pool, it wanted to keep putting Daniel Hemrick and Justin Allgaier in together, and you can easily make it work. Right now, it's looking pretty strong for the Justin Allgaier and Daniel Hemrick lineups. That's just assuming it's those guys who lead. And I would most likely go to Jade Buford if I'm doing that. But yeah, if I don't think he can choose the outside on the initial restart. I always ask this. It's always a question, and I always forget what the rule is because I can't find the rule. Let me see. Let me look. The pole sitter Choose which lane to start in. Start in good old NASCAR. I guarantee I don't find anything related to this at all. No. Nope, not finding anything. Just, oh my God, I found out they're using the choose cone. Oh my God, Reddit, I found out how the choose cone works. So I'm going to assume no, because they normally don't, just because. Let me look real quick. I can't believe we're going to waste that. I'm going to wait for it. If somebody finds, I'll probably look at it after. I don't think they can. I'm pretty sure I've asked this to myself like 600 times, and I always look, and I can never find anything that points to it. Either way, like the pole sitter has, hopefully Hemrick can beat Allgaier out of turn 2. I'm not, and honestly, I'm not even concerned about Allgaier passing him, because Hemrick should run second up until the competition caution, and I think he'll get the pole or the first place back following pit stops, because that team has been stupid quick on pit road. And that's another reason why I liked Hemrick going into this race to begin with, is because I think he's going to get to the front either at some point in the race, even if he doesn't lead in the beginning. I think he gets out in front, because we've seen him out in front pretty much at every other race this year. We've seen him do a lot. It is, yeah. So unless Hemrick's a complete dumbass, he'll choose the outside lane. So he should lead up until the competition caution. And these laps are so quick, I just want to target the lap leaders. So I completely understand wanting to go Hemrick and Allgaier. Like I said, I'm only doing 2 lineups, so I'm not going to go that direction. But if I was playing like 4 or 5 or even like 20, I'd probably do 4 lineups with Hemrick and Allgaier. And I thought Hemrick was going to be way chalky or way more popular because he's cheaper. But I guess people they're trusting the Allgaier track history more, which is understandable, and then looking at how he's performed this year. But I figured they'd be pretty even split on the ownership, and it seems like everybody's still going to go to Justin Allgaier. So that's just me. I don't think Gregson. No, excuse me. I don't think Gregson does much. Like, I had to project him for like 20 laps led, 10 fast laps because he's starting third, maybe get some scraps. But I honestly don't think Gregson hits like 5-1 value. Maybe like I have him projected right now for 5-3, and I don't see him doing that. Well, I just kind of did that to keep the top 3 in there. So we're going to actually bump him down because I don't think Gregson works. A lot of people like Cindric to get up to the front and do well. I think it's Ty Gibbs. I think Ty Gibbs and even Jeb Burton have a better chance of getting up into the top 5 and then leading. I think Cindric will get up to like 6th, 5th, somewhere around there, but I don't see Cindric leading. And I don't want to pay that much for place differential. The only reason I like Ty Gibbs so much is because I'm playing him for place differential, and also because I think Ty Gibbs can win this race and lead laps. Like, I know he ran the ARCA race yesterday. I'm not. He feels the track. That's all I wanted to see. Him being up on a bunch of poor kids or a bunch of poor teams in the ARCA series doesn't do anything to really push him towards me more. I already expected him to go out and lead laps. Yeah, so going back, that's why I got Gregson as a C, because I think he's quite difficult to get to. Or not difficult to get to, but I think he struggles on actually leading. God. I want to talk about Harrison Burton really quick. When I was looking through everybody in here, Harrison Burton has clicked off fast laps in pretty much most races that he's ran here. He DNF'd in one of them. I don't remember which one it is. I think it was his first race here. He finished 39th. I think that was the one where him, Jones wrecked, Christopher Bell wrecked. I think it was that oil fiasco. But the last 2 races, he's gotten fast laps, and he's basically been in the same situation. One race started 4th and finished 5th. In the other one, he started 11th, finished 11th, but he's still getting fast laps. I just thought that was interesting. I do have Burton in one lineup just because I figured nobody's going to go to him. I just wanted to put that out. I think Josh Berry's probably a better play, and he's cheaper. So like if you don't have the $9,100, obviously you're going to go to Josh Berry. He should easily hit value. I think he'll probably stay here. And he ran yesterday in the Arcus race, so at least he's comfortable with the track. Because when you're a short track, unless you go to like Winchester or like Salem or something like that, you're not used to these high bank tracks. But he's been good at other high bank tracks like that. And that's another thing. I always consider Dover more of like an intermediate. I don't count it as a short track. Usually whoever's fast at intermediates are going to be fast here. Let's talk about Brett Moffitt at 7,200. So in my video, I talked about how this race is going to go by stupid quick, and they're going to be lapping guys right off the bat. Like I would not be surprised if they start lapping people on like lap 7 or something. And so it really comes down to equipment. Like the better teams are going to be way faster. I think Brett can get like a top 7 here, top 6, top 5, because this is a track to where having a good car actually matters. And obviously he has a better car than Jeremy Clements. I'm going to argue that probably at this track, the R Motorsports car will probably be better than the Kaulig cars, or right on par with that. And because of that, I'm all over Brett Moffitt. I absolutely love Brett Moffitt. I love Jeb Burton. I love Myatt Snyder. I love JJ Yeley. Everybody in the 7K, 8K, or like low 8 and in the 7K range. I just love those guys. I would play as many of those guys in your lineups as possible. And that seems a bit too expensive. I understand if you want to go with him versus somebody like Josh Berry, or like if you can't afford Josh Berry in your lineup, a net would be fine, but I barely have him hitting 4.5 value. And I hate paying up that much for somebody who's not going to give me 5x, but I left him in there just because I think people are going to be funneled to him, especially if you're paying up for somebody like Cindric or Ty Gibbs together. You're kind of really strapped on cash. But I would certainly try and prioritize other guys around there. Jeb Burton should run about 6th or 7th the whole race. Ty Gibbs, like I already said, I think he has a chance to win the race. Same thing that I just said with R Motorsports, the RCR car that Myatt Snyder is in should run extremely well. It should be able to go through the field pretty easily. He'll be competing for a top 10. That's just a misprice, really. He should be a bit higher because I feel like Myatt Snyder is going to be chalk. Like he seems to be fitting in everything. Same thing with Brandon Brown. Like I have Snyder projected for 42 points. I got Brandon Brown projected for 36. I got Zane Smith projected for 37, which is fine. If you get to Brandon Brown at $6,900, I think he's going to be very popular as well. I didn't have to get to Brandon Brown. The only time I wanted to go to Brandon Brown is if I was playing both Allgaier or Hemrick, or if I was really paying up heavily for people. Which, if I'm staying in the 7K range and 8K range mainly in my lineups, I didn't really need to get to Brandon Brown. So that's just me. I think he finished around 13th or 12th. I don't see him getting a top 10 here. Probably 11th, because there's a lot of good teams now in the Xfinity series, or at least teams that have top 10 cars. And sure, Brandon Brown is, you can argue, a top 10 car at certain tracks, but I think he gets kind of locked out at like 12th, 13th when all the good cars in the back actually move their way up. Riley Herbst, it just depends on if he wrecks or whatnot. It's all Riley Herbst. The car is a top 5 car, and this will be the real push for him. Timmy Hill, I ended up really liking Jade more. I think he's just safer. If you can't afford Jade, I think that's the only way you're going to go to Timmy Hill. Like, say, if you're really paying up for people, I would just lock in Jade. Like, if you need to pay down for somebody, I didn't need to in my 2 lineup. Well, I have one Jade, one without, but that's because I purposely wanted to go with Jade to really pay up for people. But, like, you don't need to punt in this race. If you're paying up for, Allgaier, for example, and then you stick in the 7K range with the guys I just talked about, there really isn't a need to go to Jade. And then the argument for Jade over Hill is I just got Jade actually passing people. I got Timmy Hill kind of holding it where he is. That would automatically push Jade up to where that is, and he ran the ARCA race yesterday, so he's least familiar with it. That's a situation where I am happy that he actually ran because he's a road course guy, and this will be his first time running there. So I like Jade, Kyle Weatherman as well. Kyle Weatherman, I have to project him for 23rd because if the car doesn't fall apart, that's where he's going to finish. He's certainly a lot more risky. I would just rather play Jade if I'm down in the situation. Landon Castle, kind of same thing with Brandon Brown. Is I didn't see the need to get there. I guess if you're playing cash, you'd probably go with Brandon Brown and Castle more, but I just didn't get to him. I didn't have much interest in him. John Nemechek, I already had him projected for a top 6, top 7 earlier in the week because we've seen how fast this car has been with like a bunch of bums in the car. John Nemechek, as long as he doesn't wreck, he'll be in the top 7. And I said that early in the year. I think I said it back in March or something that we were going to start seeing a lot of the Toyota drivers basically use this as like another, top of the line Toyota ride in the Xfinity series, and we're finally seeing that. I don't know why they've been wasting time with a lot of the other guys. That's kind of weird. I don't know. I want to talk about JJ Yeley really quick. So I, for one, am not playing JJ Yeley for a top 18 finish or a top 17 finish. Like, let's go and sorry, excuse me. Should have done this before. Let's go and look at how this 23 is done with competent drivers in it. Because, and yes, I know it's a white car. That does not bother me at all. Because our Motorsports is not here to start and park. We just don't have a sponsor. But let's go ahead. Where are you at? Here. On track. Hold on. All right. Homestead, where you at? Yeah, they were cheating at Homestead. I forgot about that. So let's look at the competent drivers here. So Tyler Reddick ran it at Homestead. They were basically cheating. But, I mean, you saw the speed that I had when there was an actual competent driver in there. And then at Las Vegas, we saw him finish 12th. And so, like, honestly, I'd put the floor at, like, or I would put the expectations at, like, a 13th, 12th place finish. That's what I would do. Like, this is a far better car than the Rick Ware car that he's been in the last few years or this year and last year. For the Xfinity series. And I think this is seriously like the best car he's been in like 10 years. Ever since his tenure at Joe Gibbs in the Cup Series, ever since that didn't work out, he hasn't been in a good car in that long. I even wrote up on the Patreon thing that like I would not be shocked if he's running like 8th late in the race. There's a caution and people pit. I would not be shocked if JJ Yeley stayed out to just try and win the race. But I would project Yeley for like a 9th, 10th place finish. Like I'm not playing him because I think he's going to finish 17th or something like that. I'm playing him because I believe JJ Yeley actually has a chance of like a really, really good finish in this race here. Oh, cool. I just saw that you asked that, Rolling Tide, because I was going to say that anyway. I saw and there's not a lot of Xfinity content out there. I know Nate was sick. He had Fast Cars, Fast Money talking about stuff, but not a lot of Xfinity stuff out this weekend. Yeah, I'm playing. I would put in Yeley in both lineups. I have him in both lineups, and if he wrecks, he wrecks. But yeah, I really like JJ Yeley. But how many drivers would I actually consider in a player pool? So we got 5 here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I got 22. If you take out the C's and D's, you can make lineups with all your A's and B's here, and that's what I would like to do. So let's look here. Let's see if Barry could have started on the outside. Yeah, let's see. Last year's there in the poll. Okay, that's good. Thank you for checking that, Sterling. Let's see. That's the best. Yeah, this is the best car. And I like it. The whole Yeley situation, like I see people playing him at like cash. Like you should play Yeley anyway. But I mean, like if he, as a race fan, as a fan of JJ Yeley, if he doesn't finish 8th, I'm gonna be disappointed. Not just for DFS, but like I mean, Yeley, this is the best car you've been in with a bum series. Like, this is a top 10 guaranteed. And it's a shame that they ran Perkins. Maybe that keeps people off of him, or that keeps their expectations down. But the whole Perkins situation was just a waste of time. I don't know why they wasted time there. Let's see. So you like one Dom, one. So let me look. How am I looking at Doms? Let's see here. I like 2 Dominator lineups. I just happen to, let's see the lineup that I have here. This will kind of tell you where I'm at. I'm not really focusing on the place differential way back here, other than JJ Yeley. Let me see. Other than JJ Yeley and both the line and Jade Buford. So I have one lineup with Yeley and Buford. Other than those guys, everybody else is starting inside the top 20. Like Jeb Burton, do you consider him a place differential? I don't. I kind of consider him as like a dominator or a hog, because I think he's going to have fast laps. He'll end up finishing in the top 5. Ty Gibbs, I'm not playing him for place differential. I'm playing him because I think he can win the race. Brandon Brown seems like a place differential play to me that I think is going to get outscored by other people. Brett Moffitt. If I just said the same thing with JJ Yeley, how, I'll be disappointed if Yeley doesn't finish top 8 here. Brett Moffitt should finish like 7th. What do I have? Yeah, I'm giving him 9th. So if Yeley does that well, Brett Moffitt, a guy who I would argue is probably a bit better than Yeley in the whole grand scheme of things, should finish here. Now, if that car doesn't work, that 7,200 is really going to hurt you. Him starting 10th, if he loses you any positions, it's kind of over. He'll obviously be outscored by Snyder and guys like that. But I like Brett Moffitt a lot as well. Hopefully that helps here. Yeah, thanks for watching. Fast Cars, I do appreciate that. Hopefully you guys can get up to 200 subscribers pretty soon. Yeah, Sterling, I don't know. I mean, I can't sports bet here in Texas, so I hardly ever look at the odds and things of that nature. I always talk to Ryan about that. So, like, let's see, you got any questions here? I would show you lineups, but I need to hold on. I got to post one thing here. Let me just put this here. I hope I put the right link in that. Let's see. But yeah, let's see. What are we doing here? See, this is why, running that optimizer, I like watching this stuff, but I can't, like, is it giving lineups out if I purposely show like a bad lineup, but like one that I don't project to score well, but it shows the let's kind of do something like that. Hold on. So, like, for example, here's 4 drivers. Like, I would not play John Hernimacek here, but this is a lineup that the optimizer kind of likes the build of. So, like, obviously you have Justin Allgaier. I have Brett Moffitt just related high. You can trade him out for another guy in the 7K range. Brandon Brown. This is why I think Brandon Brown and Allgaier is going to be very popular. And even John Hunter, John should get up into the top 10, but I think, let's see, what do we got John projected for here? I'm giving Nemechek 67.4 points, 6.6 value. But man, that's expensive to pay up for that. Where I got Ty Gibbs getting 67 points. Not as much value. But I would just like Ty Gibbs more. I trust Ty Gibbs to not wreck more. So, like, this type of build here is what I think is going to be popular. And I'm not going in this direction. I think if I was playing a lot of lineups, I would. But I think that's going to be popular as well. Let's see what else we got here. It depends on what you think is paying off. Well, I kind of just said what his value is. Like I have him projected for 6.6, value 64 or 67.4. But it's more so when you get into lineup construction. Like if you're paying up for Allgaier and John Henry Nemechek, then it's really putting you in a bind. Like what is that? Where you at, John? Yeah, like that. That's $20,000 for that, and I personally don't like that. Mainly because like I said, I'm mainly just higher on Hemrick. If Allgaier gets out there and hopefully his wife goes into labor and he just leaves the track. that'd be perfect. Or like right when they're on the grid, they're like, oh, she's going into labor, and he jumps out and just doesn't start. That'd be great. Let's see. So what was this lineup here? In total, I have this is how I look at it. I have this projected for 252. My highest lineup I have projected for, and the one I'm playing is 368. If that puts more context into this, and that's why I wish I could show like all the lineups that I have so you could see. So like right now, this is ranked 13th. This is ranked first right now based on all my projections, and so I'm kind of talking in absolutes here of like I wouldn't play John Henry Nemechek, but when you're looking at how projections are, this is really close to my quote unquote optimal lineup projected or highest projected lineup. So it's not a bad lineup. I think this would cash. I don't know how likely it is to be the highest, if that makes sense here. Here, let me see here. What else can we look at? What else can we do? Let's see. I forgot what else I was going to look at. I just went blank. I do not remember what I was going to look at. I do not remember what I was going to bring up here. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I just forgot. Let's see. What are the really chalky plays here? So if I look up a Allgaier and Hemrick lineup, who is it putting in there together? Yeley and Herbst. Yeah, Yeley and Herbst are popping a lot with a lot of the Hemrick Allgaier lineups. Let's run this and remove Hemrick entirely. I did this last night, but we'll do it again to see what it does here. I give it a few moments, and I think that is going to give us, a real good prediction of what the chalky builds are. Let's see here. So taking Hemrick out, if you're trying to fit in Allgaier together, I think you're going to get a lot of Allgaier Nemechek lineups, a lot of Allgaier Herbst lineups, a lot of Allgaier Herbst Yeley lineups, and a lot of Allgaier. It's like in Tommy Joe Martins too. I don't like that at all. It's wanting to shove in Tommy Joe Martins in a lot of the Allgaier. What's Tommy at? Why is it popping off so much? 5,300. Why is it not? I have Tommy Joe projected for. It's like in Tommy Joe Martins, and I don't like that. Yeah, I'm giving him 22 points. I'm giving Tommy Joe Martins. I'm giving him 19th place finish. Keep him where he's at. It's 26. If he holds 17th, he'll hit 5x. If he loses anything, and it's still wanting to put Tommy Joe Martins in the lineup, so that's interesting. Let's see. So thoughts on Hemrick, John Heron line to pivot and save. Yeah, I mean, that's the way I went with my lineup. Usually when I make 20 lineups, or when I was earlier in the year, I would typically run probably 6 chalky lineups just to have them, and then use the remaining 14 to try and pivot off of them. Now, since I'm just running 2, I'm already just trying to get on an island because I only got 2 shots there, and so I'm just not playing Allgaier today. But I haven't projected to do well, so that's just a conscious decision I'm making to purposely fade the Allgaier chalk. But I haven't projected to do well. But I like Hemrick. I just like Hemrick a lot. I think he's underpriced, and I think he'll get the lead again, even later in the race, off of pit road, because that team has been really fast on pit road. Anyway, what were we looking at here? Let's see. So Allgaier, Nemechek, Brandon Brown pops up a lot as well. I hate that road, man. Like I hate the Brandon Brown play. I really do. I think it scores well. I don't know if it's optimal. But that's just kind of me talking to more absolutes. You think this is a stronger? What's up, ACS? How are you doing? Yeah, I think this is a much stronger field, and I think that's why I'm so harsh on Brandon Brown, is because let's look at top 10 drivers, not even projected finish. Let's look at who can finish top 10. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not all. The top 7 guys have top 10 cars. I'm going to give Zane a 10th place. Let's say Moffitt gets there. Michael Lynette, no. What are we at? 9? Jeb Burton, top 10. Kai Gibbs, top 10. Myatt Snyder, on the fringe. Austin Cindric, top 10. Riley Herbst should be top 10. We won't even count him there. Let's see. Then we go down here. John Nemechek, top 10. Like, if this team can get top 15s with a bunch of bums, that's a top 10 car. Yeley, I'm going to consider a top 10 here. And so, I mean, that's like 14, 15 guys who should have a top 10 car. And then you get to Brandon Brown. Like, I'm giving him 13th. And I think that might be a bit high, because that's how strong. This might be the strongest Xfinity field we've had all year, and probably in the last 2 years, with everybody in here. Yeah, and I think that's why people are going to go to Cindric. And that was in a really weak field. One of those was, let me look. One of those was a crash fest too. It took out. Let me go to Racing Reference. One of them was a crash fest. I took out a lot of the contenders. That's kind of how Custer got a win. I don't think it was last year. I think that was 2019. Let's look at these 2 Dover races last year real quick. Let's see, race 1, who crashed out? Race 1 was fine. Cindric finished second, led 41 laps. It's pretty lame. Cindric with where did he start in the first race? Oh, that's why. So Cindric started first in the first race, led 49 laps, came back day number 2, started 14th, couldn't go through the field, led 1 lap, and finished 3rd. That's the situation that I think Cindric goes into, to where he finishes in the top 5. I don't think he leads any laps, where I see Ty Gibbs leading laps, but that could be me. I mean, if you can't, Cindric is probably, actually, he is the better value play. I would just play Ty Gibbs based on upside of him leading. Thank you, Clutch. Maybe the guys in weaker starting high. More, yeah, that's how I look at it. Like, for example, I bet you Clements. I'm giving him 11th just so it doesn't, kill him. But if Clements finishes like 15th, things of that nature. But let's. I mean, dude, there's a lot of top 10 guys here. Like here, Actually, I could probably. I don't like yellow. Hold on. Yeah, like all these guys in blue, I would put down as a top 10 contender. Like this is a strong field. This is a really, really strong field. Maybe that, and like Josh Williams too. I don't like Josh Williams at all. He's just, I'm giving him 20th. So same thing to be made with Brandon Brown. I'm giving Josh Williams 33 points, a 4.9 value, which is fine. You know, if he gets another position, a couple more, he'll get 5x easily. But I think he gets outscored by people. I don't see the need to go to Williams today. I just don't see it. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Any other questions? Any other things you guys want me to look at or bring my opinion on? Josh Berry tomorrow. I know we're talking Xfinity, but Josh Berry tomorrow for the Cup Series. I haven't decided on what I'm going to do. I think he'll run well today. It's all backed up what that car does. I know LaJoy is running decent in the 750 package there, but that 77 car, like, that's a 25th place car at max. I don't know how much Barry can really push that over. And if you've seen my video, you've seen that I'm not really crazy on the 5K range. And God knows I don't want to deal with any other chalk like we did last week with Priest. That was ridiculous. I think he was 41% owned in the 15, and he was like near 60 in a lot of the single entries I was in. And so I don't like any chalk plays in the 5K range. And if people want to go to Josh Berry, I don't know if I'll be on. I don't know if I'll be on that tomorrow. Oh, did he say that, Sterling? I mean, these people act like Barry's gonna. I was already. I don't remember who it was, but I think it was on Twitter. They're like, "Man, Barry's gonna take that card at 17th." I was like, "Hell no, he ain't." Barry's probably gonna finish 2 laps down, 3 laps down, which is perfectly okay for your first ever race. But yeah, like Josh Berry at 5,300. What is he? 5,300 tomorrow? Like I'm not too crazy about that. I'm going to do my projections later today for the Cup Series, but I can't believe people are talking up Josh Berry in the Cup Series. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy. Let's see. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, cool. I have to check that out. Christie does some good stuff. I wish they would have better reporters in NASCAR, man, or they don't kiss their ass the whole time. So let's see. Yeah, I like this slate. I like this slate a lot. I like this slate a lot. I think if Allgaier wins, if Allgaier is the top dominator, I don't think it'll chop at the top, but man, you'll see a lot of very similar lineups. It would certainly help your percentage of solo winning or not tying with people, either if it's Hemrick and Allgaier day, or certainly if it's a Hemrick day. Just man, if Allgaier really walks away with this race, it's going to be pretty chalky, especially if a lot of these plays in the 20s come through. It's going to be a really, really chalky day. Let's see. What else you guys want to look at? Anything else you guys want to talk about? What else? Trying to look through if there's anything else that I need to bring up. Xfinity is usually not straightforward, but you kind of clear off like half of the drivers right off the bat anyway. Let me look at one last thing before we go. Let's see. Oh, I saw another. Talk about Alex LeBay really quick. I had a note on that I didn't talk about in the. I didn't talk about in the video. I got LeBay projected for 27 points. So this is why I'm so harsh and why I just give guys Fs and stuff like that. Like I have him projected for 27 points. That's 4.8, and for 5,800, or especially in the 5K range. Personally, not going there, but I'd honestly rather go to Tommy Joe Martins, Kyle Weatherman, Jade Buford, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's different because I just play GPPs. Like I don't waste time with cash. I never even consider that type of stuff. So I don't know, because every week I'll see people, especially in the Xfinity series. Well, they'll like guys who can get like a 5x, but I feel like if you allocate money elsewhere, you can get higher lineups. How many wrecks? I don't know, Ace. I don't know, man. I don't see this being a wreck fest. I really don't. And if it is a wreck fest, it's going to be with the top 10 guys. I don't see the back markers wrecking much today, unless Joe Graf Jr. decides to take out half the field again. But if there's a wreck, it's going to be between the guys actually competing for a win, and we can't do much about that. I don't think it'll be a wreck fest in the Cup Series either. I just mentioned that we've gone quite a long time without a huge pileup. I think 2019 was the last time we had kind of a big wreck, and then certainly the last time we had a real wreck was when Johnson caused the wreck on the restart that one time. Took old Junebug out and other people like that. That was the last time we had a really big wreck at Dover. Let's see. All right. We're probably going to call it there. We'll be live tomorrow with Jordan Maccabee. I think that'll be fun. It'll be at 10:30 Eastern time. Tomorrow, we'll probably be on for like 40 minutes. It's always easier to talk when you got another guy there, and different routes or different ways to kind of go. Like here, I still say it's play at least 2 or 3 of these guys. The Moffats, the Burtons, the Snyders, the Herps. Try and play like 2 of those guys in the lineup, 3 if you can. I think you're going to be pretty good. I think that'll be darn close to being optimal, at least in my opinion. If you guys like what I'm doing here, consider donating on PayPal. Send $1, send $2, somewhere around there. Join my Patreon. If you'd like my projections in greater detail, heat map, kind of the core that I would use, and things of that nature. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We will see you tomorrow, and good luck today. We'll chat with you later.